Yo, how is everyone doing today? So, today's topic is the trap of thought and the freedom of seeing. This is all based off my notes from, uh, it is right here, The Awakening of Intelligence, affiliate link in the description. But let's go. So, introduction. Why do we suffer psychologically? So, the first reason is we long to feel beauty, peace, and meaning. Our deepest desire is to experience moments of profound connection and understanding. And it turns out we suffer when those moments fade. Then the inevitable passing of beautiful experiences brings us pain and longing. That's just how it is. We love pleasure. We love beautiful things. Why? Because we don't let moments end, we pursue them. So instead of allowing natural completion, we chase after what has already passed. I think a lot of people know someone that peaked in high school and they can't let those days go and they cling to it. Some people cling to their youth, and that's a shame. That's why we got to live in the moment, enjoy things as much as we possibly can, see clearly, and then move on. The reason I feel like a lot of reason why we cling is because we didn't see clearly and we didn't cherish what we had clearly. Key insight: suffering often arises from the desire to repeat a beautiful moment. The moment of beauty. Memory transforms experience. That moment of beauty becomes a memory. Then the memory says, I must have it again. When we experience something beautiful, we don't just feel it, we attach to it. Thoughts create craving. Thoughts turn the living moment into a craving, and craving becomes conflict, okay? Beware of craving, all right? Beauty is not repeatable. Trying to hold it corrupts it, you know? Um, that's why we must live in the present moment and accepting thoroughly so that we don't crave. Now, this is a different type of craving, though. This is not like drug craving. Very similar, yes, but this is like an existential craving. Actually, you know what? It is just like drug craving because ultimately drugs do give pleasure and we remember that pleasure and we want some more of it. So, in a way, pleasure is also beautiful. You know what I mean? If it was not beautiful, we wouldn't like it. And you see how society treats people who are beautiful. We have a natural gravitation towards beauty. That's why there's just, pretty privilege. Pretty privilege. The origin of conflict. Pleasure always asks for more. You are not concerned with beauty, you are concerned with the pursuit of pleasure. Beauty ends, then pleasure wants to preserve it. The natural completion of beautiful moments conflicts with our desire to extend them. And last but not least, conflicts conflict arises from extension. Conflict arises when we try to extend what is naturally finished. So, the lesson here is pleasure and beauty don't go together. To seek one is to lose the other. Is it? Sorry. Oh yeah. Sorry. My bad. My brain is jumbled up. So what happens when you see clearly? Clean seeing. This is a form of seeing that is clean and unclouded. There is a stillness of the mind. It happens when the mind is still, not chasing, not comparing. Remember this. You know you are seeing clearly when the mind is still, when the mind is not comparing and contrasting or analyzing, when there is no mental chatter or clutter. All right? There is direct perception. In this stillness, you perceive reality directly. Just to see that it is taking place is enough. Awareness is not effort. Pure seeing ends the problem. But this is the dilemma. If you don't actually go into your inner world, you don't know what the clutter looks like because you never took the time to recognize clutter. Because remember this: the internal world is all pervasive it has always was, um, like it's something we just take for granted, and unless you actually take, interest and venture deep into your internal world, right? Because the other way you could describe it is like your emotions, right? You feel emotions and you feel thoughts, but they're all happening within some type of container. Why? Because if it was not happening within a container, we would be carried out by it. But you know what? Some people get so caught up in their emotions and thought that they are their thoughts and emotions. So this is all very nuanced, and everyone is at different levels of awareness, so it is tough. But for my reading today, all I'm here is to guide you, is to point you towards the door and not actually save you, because we can only save yourself. So I'm chatting, but all I can really say is look inside. The answers are there. Look inside. If you really care about that, about existential liberty, look inside. All the answers are there. Don't listen to anyone else says. Just look inside. Actually look. See what's clutter. See what's not clutter. The snake metaphor, awareness and action. Number one, immediate reaction or immediate recognition. You see a snake. Nobody has to tell you. You see directly. Two, no interpretation is needed. When danger is real, you don't think, you see. There's no need for interpretation. Three, real intelligence. This is what real intelligence looks like. Clarity without effort. Train yourself to see things as they are, not filtered through thought. All right? What does that mean? You have sunglasses and your shades filter the world. It's overlaid on what is. You're not seeing reality directly because you have a lens filter over reality. And our thoughts cloud reality and our judgment and creates a filter that overlays reality. All right? Thought's natural limits. 1. Operating in the known. Thought is always operating in the field of the known. 2. Memory-based function. Thought is memory. It can't touch what is new. 3. Past to future projection. It functions by projecting the past into the future, kind of like an autocorrect, right? 4. Never in the now. So long as we live in thought, we are never in the now. We are in the was and what could be. Takeaway: don't expect thought to solve problems that require presence. How do you know? It's up to you to figure it out. All right? Why thought becomes a prison. 1. Freedom cannot be invented. Thought cannot invent freedom. It only knows cages and restrictions, okay? 2. Spiritual thoughts are still in the past. Even spiritual or noble thoughts are rooted in the past. 3. Thought has limitation. It can't love, it can't be silent, it can only define. 4. Working in prison. Thought is always working in a prison. It can call it freedom, but it is still in the known. Freedom is not something you think, it's something you see. Remember that. Freedom is not something you think, it's something you see. The false pursuit of understanding. Objectification. Also, the other thing I would say is, remember, to me, freedom is the infinite. You know what I mean? Infinity is freedom. Freedom has no limits. But thought is constrained. Thought is limited. Freedom is infinity. You can't conceptualize infinity. You can only surrender to infinity. You know what I mean? You can only surrender to infinity. You could experience the infinity. You could feel the infinity flowing through you. But you can't ever conceptualize infinity. We could label this thing as infinity, but to really comprehend infinity in the way you can comprehend $1, $2, $3, not possible. Hell, after a certain point, and the mind just struggles to conceptualize. Like trying to conceptualize $1 billion, it's very tough. Trying to conceptualize $1 trillion, very tough. It's very easy to conceptualize the limited. Next, the false pursuit of understanding. 1. Objectification. When we try to understand beauty, peace, or joy, we turn them into objects. 2. Life becomes pursuit. This objectification turns life into pursuit. 3. Pursuit becomes suffering. And pursuit becomes suffering. 4. The cycle continues. If I pursue it, it becomes a pleasure. If I can't get it, it brings despair. Why? Because to pursue something, right, in the way we're talking about, means to lack it. And to live lacking something is to live in pain and suffering. Let things pass. Let insight arrive, not be hunted. The power of true not knowing. 1. Not knowing is openness. Not knowing isn't ignorance. It's openness. 2. Intelligence is born. In that, intelligence is flexible, alive, and real. 3. Fertile ground. Not knowing is the fertile ground for direct perception. When I say I really don't know, the mind becomes completely humble. Rest in I don't know. Don't fill the space, let it reveal. Let reality flow through you. Stop trying to control things. Let things blossom and awake, Final insight. What is intelligence? Intelligence is not accumulation. Intelligence is freedom from accumulation. Return to thought when needed. From this stillness, you can return to thought when needed, but you're no longer trapped by it. 3. The space where truth appears. Now that state of not knowing is intelligence. Closing thought. Intelligence is the space where truth appears, not what you already know. So what I'm trying to say with this last point is rest in I don't know. Rest in observation. Why? Because that is where intelligence lies. Because the mind is very powerful. The intellect is very powerful. But if we are not aware, we become controlled by the tool. Because that's essentially is. We are the stillness where that mind, where that intelligence resides. And if we're not careful, we get taken over. All right? And not a lot of people know this. I mean, the esoteric and stuff, they've become aware of that. But, hey, it's what we need to learn, man. If you're not on top of your shit, your brain, listen, the brain has its own agenda. I think we're all aware of this. It's like your brain, a good example I'm going to use is sugar for me, right? Sweets and sugar. Or even short form content and being on your phone, right? Or just addiction in general. Let's use the word addiction. When there is an addiction present, you are aware that biologically your body has its own agenda. You know what I mean? Your body says, I want this, and is trying to get this. There is a disconnect, all right? There is, in fact, a disconnect. And the goal is to just become more increasingly aware of this disconnect. If addiction is to be able to see this disconnect between our awareness and our biology, then enlightenment would be a total understanding of this gap to the most subtle levels, which is just, just the mind, the brain, whatever. I don't know. That's all I got to say today. I don't know. Just notice the gap. Notice the wants and needs of your biology and then the wants and needs of your soul, and notice the separateness. Hell, even notice the agenda your thoughts might have. Because remember this. What would life be like if you actually was totally aligned with every thought and emotion you've had. That would be madness. And by that logic, we pick and choose what thoughts and emotions we align ourselves with based on the concept of what we believe ourselves to be, and let go of all of that shit. That's it. Bye. Like, let go of your thoughts. Stop picking and choosing your thoughts. Stop letting your thoughts run rampant. Reside in stillness and silence in order to see clear. Bye.